Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here today. Revelation happens at different stages in life. I'm going to talk to you about the revelations that I had in the course of my own journey from being a small town boy of the city of Mysore to where I am here today. I have encountered a fork in the road. I've encountered a T junction. I've encountered a road crossing. Why do I actually talk about these concepts? As you all know, a fork in the road poses a challenge. You stand there wondering whether you should take the left fork or the right fork. What is in store for me if I go left? What is in store for me if I go right? Do I then turn back and go back the way I came, preferring not to choose either the left or the right? In life, you will, at different points in time, encounter a fork in your life. David Frost, when he wrote the poem, A Road in the Woods, he says that I came to this fork and I looked at the left and the right. I found the right fork well traveled and the left fork not so well traveled. And I chose the left fork, and that made all the difference in my life because that left fork gave me the opportunities to prove myself, to make a difference to the society and a difference to myself. The left fork and the right fork also symbolizes the tough way in and the easy way out. You have to be the judge of your own capabilities to see whether you can stand up to the challenges that you cannot really fathom, or whether you can take the easy route where everything is predictable. As a student, I always thought that I will have to become, mark the words, have to become a lawyer because I belonged to a family of lawyers. I was surrounded by lawyers. Father, brother, uncle, everybody, you name the relationship. I don't know what got into them. Everybody was doing law. So it was sort of ingrained in me that I should become a lawyer. In those days, as you know, we had to do 2 degrees. LLB was a 3-year degree, which is postgraduate. So I came to a stage when, after my intermediate, as it was called, I had to choose one of the degrees. So I was at a fork. Do I take BA or do I take BSc? BA is all about history, civics, and so many other humanities. BSc is all about chemistry, physics, mathematics, biology, number of combinations. I happened to meet a friend of mine who had actually got into the first year BSc. I asked him, if I am confronted with this choice of doing BA or BSc, what do I do? He says, do BSc if you are planning to become a lawyer. I said, why? What does BSc got to do with lawyer degree? He says BSc actually gives you the ability to think analytically. It will help you to deduce. It will help you to draw proper inferences, as opposed to humanities, where you may know a lot of things, but it hardly serves the purpose of being a good lawyer. So I did my BSc. Then I got into my father's chambers as a lawyer. And the next 7 years were, according to my own estimate, sheer hell. I used to go to the office, carry papers, go to the court. Nothing happened. Adjourned, adjourned, adjourned. As a young man, I would come back home and ask myself, what did I achieve today? And I had nothing to tell myself, forget about telling others. It was very frustrating as compared to today's associates who at least get to photocopy. I didn't even have that. So one fine day I decided that I must now do a paradigm shift from being a lawyer to going in-house. It was a very challenging moment for me. As my previous speaker said, this propelled me to Mahanagari, Mumbai. And I took up a job out of desperation, not out of choice and liking. I became a claims officer in an insurance company. I did not survive more than 2 years because as a claims officer, I was supposed to sign and approve things which had been pre-approved by the seniors. I had no independence of judgment. I had no ability to evaluate whether the claim is good or bad. I came to the fork again. Do I somehow swallow the indignities and also compromise to some extent because I had got married by then and I had responsibility? Or do I go back to practice? You won't believe, my brother, under whom I had good training, I went to his house, took some days off, went back to Mysore, and asked my brother, I'm feeling very suffocated and I don't feel happy with this job. I want to come back to practice. My sister-in-law, sage wisdom. When you get sage wisdom in life, listen to it very carefully. Sage wisdom. She said, are you mad? Why do you want to come back to this town again and pick up the threads where you have the same reasons for which you left? So I went back to Bangalore and then I looked for jobs. Mercifully, I had an opportunity of meeting someone who said, there is a job in Pune, a multinational company is looking for a manager law, and it's a great time to apply. So I managed to pass the interview, everything, and then I moved to Pune and I became manager law. It is a great moment for me because those were the license Raj days, where your own managing director had to seek the permission of the RBI to spend 100 rupees per day, $100 per day. Now, of course, everything is open. It was an excellent opportunity for me to hone my skills of interacting with government officials, law firms, and various other people, and it was a great training ground. But life does not go on expected lines. I thought I'm quite happy there. But one fine day, someone reached out to me saying that in Bangalore, there is a head of legal position for Brook Bond India Limited. And so I came back to Bangalore and an FMCG company. It's a great opportunity to learn the FMCG business and the way it's run and the legalities of running that business. And I thought life will go on like that. So I came to this crossroad. Brook Bond was taken over by Unilever PLC. My pecking order would change from number 1 to number 3 or number 4. So what do? I can continue, become number 3 or number 4, or I can do something else. So I decided to move on, and then I put my name out to the headhunters, and you won't believe, absolutely from out of the blue, I got this offer of being the chief legal officer of Larsen and Toubro. I call it serendipitous for the simple reason that I entered Larsen and Toubro in 1991 when the entire economic reforms happened, the business reforms happened. I had a great opportunity of interacting with not only international companies but also international lawyers. There is a paradigm shift in the way actually I conducted myself as an in-house counsel. Very soon, because of this great interaction between people from different countries and different borders and different businesses, I found myself evolving as a business lawyer than a lawyer. This paradigm shift, which always you people also must remember, is it is not enough if you advise and consent. It is important to devise and implement. As lawyers, whether you're in-house or external, you must learn to devise and implement than to simply advise and consent. So that was a paradigm shift that I went through. And I thought, great place L&T, fantastic company, and this is where I'm going to retire. One fine day, without my askance, without my involvement, I found myself again at that fork. At the fork stood a formidable man who was very eager to take me and make me the head of legal of Aditya Birla Group. And I was resisting the move. But once I went and met Mr. Birla about 2 times, he told me that in 1998-1999, his father passed away and he had been pitchforked into the hot seat of being the chairman of the Aditya Birla Group. And he was looking to build corporate functions like corporate HR, corporate strategy, corporate legal, and he wanted the number 1 man to come in and build the team for his very diversified business across different countries. I was convinced that with his support I'll be able to do it, because those days people used to not very much care about the family-owned companies. But I was very convinced that here is a man with whom I'll be very happy. For the next 12 years, I worked with the Birlas and as group legal head, had the great opportunity of driving mergers and acquisitions and various other initiatives, including corporate restructuring. And I also learned how mercilessly you can sell a business which is not doing well and how you can acquire a business, organic, inorganic acquisitions. It was a fantastic opportunity for me. So what I would like to say is that in life, you will face forks. You will face crossroads. You will also face T-junctions, where the only choice is, do I take a left turn or do I get right turn, or do I trace my steps back? You should be the judge. You should take counsel. You should take heart, and more than anything else, you should have the courage and conviction that you will survive. God bless.